I was 8 the night they were killed, and suddenly I was famous.
Libby, what you're about to tell us is very, very important. Did Ben kill your mom and your sisters?
Libby Day was a girl who, when she was young, her family, her mother and 2 sisters both got murdered in the house. She testified in court that she saw her brother commit the murders, which kind of throughout this story we start to realize she may have actually, you know, it may have been lawyers misleading her and coaching her to get the answers they needed or wanted out of her, and that she wasn't actually in the house at the time.
Now, Libby, let's talk about what really happened, if you don't mind.
I saw Ben as I was standing at the door of my mom's room. He was threatening her with our shotgun. She's a big troublemaker, and a lot of people call her a little liar, so she lies a lot.
She's someone who suffered the loss of her family in a very violent way at a very young age, and then kind of bounced around to relatives and was exploited a little bit by the media.
And 25 years later, she's broke. She's been living off money sent by well-wishers all that time, so she never worked or anything, and she's just surviving.
There is $482.12 left in your fund. Now, as I have mentioned before, had you been able to replenish it with any kind of regular income, we'd have been able to keep it afloat. You're also 2 months behind on your rent.
What about the book? Hmm? That should have made more money.
I know.
Any new donations? 30th anniversary's coming up. You know, it could...
People have short attention spans, Libby. And there's always a new murder, I'm afraid. They want to help other little girls. And the truth is, you're not a little girl anymore.
I'm not ready for this.
But in a way, it could turn out to be a blessing in disguise and lead you into an exciting new phase of your life. What do you want to be when you grow up?
She doesn't do anything because she doesn't have to. And now finally that money is running out and she has to figure out what to do. And that's kind of what pulls her into the Kill Club, is not actually an interest in solving this murder, but it's actually they're offering money to her. And you know, she's kind of a greedy creature, so that's kind of what gets her back into examining that night.
The Kill Club is this crazy group of people who essentially track unsolved murders and try to right wrongs that may have happened in murder trial cases.
And Lyle is the treasurer and kind of a key person in this club of bringing everyone together. And he reaches out to Libby, and fortunately, she agrees to kind of, go along and talk at the club, and then starts to investigate the case. And then slowly, the story unravels of what happened that evening.
Tell me about this club.
You know how some guys collect baseball cards? Or women read gossip magazines and know everything about some celebrity, like their baby's name and the town where they grew up. You know, this is like that, only it's about murders. You know, we call it the Kill Club. It's not as weird as it sounds. It's like a bunch of people who like true crimes and mysteries. You know, everyone has a case that they're passionate about. But you and your family is very special, huge with the club. I mean, it's a real tragedy what happened. And your brother in jail going on 28 years.
If you and your little club want to convince me that Ben's innocent, you're wasting your time.
No, you just come along. It's like a convention.
How much?
$500.
I want 1,000.
I can give you 700, and you let us pick your brain about what happened that day. Yeah?
Yeah, deal.
There's different fractions of the Kill Club. There's private investigators. There's ex-cops. There's people who are just fascinated by true crimes. But then there's also a side of it which is more for people who are kind of interested in the dressing up aspect.
When I first read the book, this Kill Club, do you think it exists? Do you think that's something real? It's just brilliant. I guess there will be Kill Clubs after this movie.
some sweets, little girl.
Libby! Welcome to our club.
What?
Said, welcome to our club. You want me to show you around? Come on. Show you upstairs.
The Kill Club, or KC as we call it, is basically for solvers and fans of famous murders. Everyone from like Fanny Adams to the killers of...
Who's Fanny Adams?
She was an 8-year-old who got chopped to bits in England back in 1867. That guy you passed with the sweets downstairs, he was playing the role of her murderer, Frederick Baker.
Jesus Christ. You guys need to get a life.
Yeah, we've been trying to push the role players out, but too many guys are into that. Plus, it's a good source of income for us.
Us?
And the solvers. We're a serious-minded organization. You know, among our ranks are ex-cops, private and insurance investigators, lawyers. We solve crimes. That's what we do.
The reality of these characters are so complex in terms of the motivation to expose the truth and simultaneously conceal secrets.
Do you live in Kansas City?
Yeah, I live in Kansas City.
Well, do you have any contact with Ben? Did he ever write you any letters?
Yeah, I don't read them.
She plays my younger sister, who is the sole survivor of the murder. And it was her testimony that put me in jail for life. And she's starting to doubt it now.
I never thought I'd see you here.
No, I never thought I'd come. Why are you being so nice to me?
I'm not that nice. I got a lot of anger for a lot of people, but you're just not one of them.
Libby, I think, hits a point where she realizes how little she actually knows about that night. And it's kind of shocking to her, that idea that, you know, she, in a way, closed her mind once Ben, her brother, went to prison.
Files, so you can take a look. Libby, it's not a request. It's part of the job.
Seriously? It's like you guys want Ben out more than he does. It's ridiculous.
Ben is a fascinating character because he has so many secrets, and yet also this real righteousness, and it really leaves the audience, I think, not knowing whether my character did it or not.
What did you think of him?
I don't know, Lyle. Did you ever hear about him with a serious girlfriend? A Molly or a Polly, something like that?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He had a tattoo of it on his arm. It's probably another Magda.
So in Dark Places, about half of the action takes place in the present and half of the action takes place in 1985.
I was a sophomore in high school. I just cleaned for money.
Ben is he's just a little lost. He starts hanging out with Deandra and Trey, and they start like doing satanic worshiping, and start listening to heavy metal music, and he changes his whole mentality.
My dad's gonna fucking kill me. He's gonna fucking kill me.
That shit you made up at the warehouse this morning. Hope you're ready to back it up. Oh, yeah. You're gonna need it. Do it.
I think the first thing you get from Deandra is her kind of manipulative, conniving, psychotic outlook on life and how she can take this little boy who's just a normal kid who lives on a farm in the middle of Kansas and can completely turn his world upside down and manipulate him so much where he doesn't even know who he is anymore. And he eventually ends up doing things that are completely against his better judgment, but, you know, he's fallen in love with a woman who is always looking 2 steps ahead of him.
More bags in the car with some surprises. Get him.
You shouldn't have.
That's what I do.
I don't think Patty knows much about what Ben is up to. I don't think she knows who his friends are. I don't think she has a clue about Deandra. She still thinks he's hanging out with the farm boys, you know, that he was friends with a few years back. He's just not communicating with her. He's a teenager. He's a pretty normal teenager.
I don't see Ben.
He left early this morning.
How are things with him?
Difficult.
Where is he?
I don't know why.
A normal kid goes to bed, wakes up the next day, and it's a normal day. And then he just gets unlucky.
Mrs. Cates?
Yes.
I'm Patty Day, Ben Day's mother.
It's Ben Day's mother.
Chrissy? Chrissy, I'm Patty Day. I'm Ben's mom.
I don't want her here! I don't want her here! You promised!
Chrissy's this 11-year-old girl in school. She kind of falls head over heels for this Ben guy, and she kind of goes around telling people, yeah, we did this and this, and it gets to her parents. She has to lie, saying that he molested her.
We've heard of you. You've got 4 kids at home, can't afford one of them. Their daddy's a drunk, if not worse. You're on welfare. Your meals come from a food bank, and Jesus Christ, you've let your son do this!
I hope you're not hiding him. Police are looking for him.
I'm trying to find him, I swear. Ben is going to hell.
This atrocious, unbelievable nightmare is happening around her son's life, and she's trying to help and feeling hopeless, as if she's not a help at all.
Cute.
Where's the little one?
Lily!
She hasn't really looked at that night since she was 7 or 8 years old. So coming back to that as a grown-up, she realizes how little she actually knows about that night.
Since I was 7, I'd only seen flashes of Ben. Like some evil entity in a haunted house. But I'd forgotten there was once just Ben. My brother. Shy. Serious. Couldn't have done what they said. What I said. The molestation of Chrissy Cates and the murders weren't legally linked, but everyone had heard the rumors and the jury was surely poisoned against him. Oddly, all the little girls backed down and the Cates family never pressed charges. The Kill Club found Chrissy Cates' mother in Emporia, Kansas, but she'd never returned their calls.
She's a truly stunning actress. She's because she's kind of on set, she's effortless and she's joking and she's easygoing. But then, you know, when she goes in there, it's like she's so precise and she really knows what she's doing. And she also has the ability to abandon herself, really like kind of forget it at some point. Like even in some scenes, like very, very key scenes that were really difficult acting-wise, like the prison scenes. I came to her after a take and she was like, I don't remember what happened, which is a very good sign.
She's so raw and present, and there's no sense of calculation.
The subtlety, the sincerity, the power that she has. You know, she's the real thing. She's the real deal, and for this, matching her with material like this, it just seemed like hand in glove.
All of her performances have shown some kind of a strange combination of inner pain and absolute vulnerability. And I think that's the exact equation that defines Libby Day. She's terribly broken, and as a result, she tries to act really, really tough, but inside, the vulnerability is so raw.
So she can break these characters that aren't very likable, but she can make them, as an audience, you sit there and you get fascinated, and it's so real what she does. It's compelling to watch.
Just tell me, who do you think did it?
I think Lou Cates did it. Chrissy Cates' father. He found out he had a history of violence, went to jail for aggravated battery. She's still have no idea who Chrissy Cates is, do you?
No.
Libby, come on, I know you hate doing this, but could you try? You're smart. You'll see for yourself that something's not right. Just take a look at the folder. Come on, you'll see. Please.
He'd never leave a message for someone you really want to reach. He'd keep calling and calling until somebody picks up. Out of anger, curiosity, or just fear.
Yeah? Holy crap. Libby, I always thought you'd find me someday.
I like to think of her as the present day, older, unfortunately not wiser, Deandra.
Listen, I'm gonna wait outside. My friend is coming to get me. Libby, I really need you to keep this a secret. I can't risk it, them thinking I'm an accomplice. You understand? Why would they think that?
Sharlize is playing a character that is very insular, that is very non-trusting, you know, that does not let anyone come in. And my character is someone who's been hidden in many ways away with a false identity for years on a really creepy little farm, doing who knows what creepy things.
He's looking hard enough. Stop yelling at me! Here is a bloody gun. Mom!
Shut! Cut. That looked good, right? That was really chaotic.
Dark Places came out in 2009, and it wasn't too long after that that I heard from Gilles that he wanted to make the movie. And once he and I got on the phone and started talking about it, we just really clicked. Like, we clicked about 80s movies we'd grown up with, and he liked, you know, the 80s elements of it, and we just had a great conversation. I thought, you know, this guy would do a wonderful job with it.
I think what I really loved is that there's real quality in the writing, with a real style. There's a very strong plot, very strong characters. There's something really pulpy, but very elevated at the same time. So I think that's really what attracted me, because it's definitely what you're looking for a movie.
The initial material of Gillian Flynn is very good and very cinematographic. So we had a basic good material, and Gilles is quite good at writing and adaptations.
You really found a way to distill an incredibly complex plot from the book and an enormous amount of really rich narration, and he managed to make it a very taut, very streamlined story.
This is just one of those stories that just sweeps you away.
It's an emotional journey. It's an exciting journey. It has a little of everything for everybody.
Of kind of being a little bit of a Kill Club member yourself in the audience, sitting there and kind of not knowing quite what Libby's getting into.
It's one thing after another.
You're supposed to have a good time. I mean, I think it's an entertainment.
I want them to be on the edge of their seat, but I want them to take more from it than just from a regular thriller. I want them to really share something very strong with this family and these characters.
It's really about a woman finding her identity and finding family, finding home again.